On the news tonight, Monarch cautions politicians against plunging Nigeria into anarchy. Governor Adeleke reiterates commitments to proper establishment of University of Ilesha. Our entertainment news today focuses on the life and times of the East Nollywood actor Ojo Arowo-Shafe, popularly known as Fade Yoloro, who died recently. While on the foreign scene, death toll from Gabonese ferry disaster rises as search and rescue operation continues. Good evening, and we're glad to have you join us on the major reports. I am Olubomi Ajiboye Agbola. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has said the allegation that he rigged the presidential election could lead to a lawsuit. The electoral chief issued a reply to the People's Democratic Party after the leadership asked him to resign. A statement by Professor Yakubu's press secretary Rotimi Oyekomi said the call is misplaced and wondered why the party did not give evidence of how the chairman of the electoral umpire sabotaged the uploading and transmission of results from polling units. While challenging the party to prove its claims in court, the spokesperson maintained that the INEC does not rig elections, stressing that the bimodal voter accreditation system has ensured the integrity of the electoral process. Meanwhile, politicians have been advised to desist from actions that are capable of dragging the country into anarchy. A traditional ruler in Imo State, Eze Oliver Ohawe, gave the advice amidst controversies trailing the presidential and National Assembly elections. He advised politicians who lost their deposits at the polls to shun acts capable of truncating the country's democracy. The monarch said that such politicians should rather seek redress in a court of competent jurisdiction to strengthen the nation's fledgling democracy. He urged critical stakeholders in the country to inject justice, sanity, equity, and fairness into the nation's electoral system. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has reassured people of Ijesha land that the proposed University of Ilesha during a familiarization visit to the school. Governor's Office correspondent Abdurrahim Adikiliko reports.
The governor of Osun State, Senator Ademola Adeleke, arrived at the campus of the Osun State College of Education, Ilesha, which is being proposed to be upgraded to University of Ilesha, into the waiting hands of the Deputy Governor, Prince Kola Adeusi, the Secretary to the State Government, Araji Tesnimi Gbalaye, and the management of college, led by the acting provost, Dr. Mutalib Akamu. Governor was then conducted around the college health center, ICT center, among other facilities, before addressing the staff of the college. Senator Adeleke, while thanking the people of Ijesha land for their staunch belief in the PDP government, said he remains committed to properly establishing a university that is sustainable in terms of funding and academic standard. Presenting their reports, Chairman of the ad hoc committee of the University of Ilesha Implementation Committee, Professor Taiwo Ashaolu, said the committee held several strategic meetings with all relevant stakeholders for a holistic approach towards ensuring a smooth takeoff of the university. The committee, according to Professor Ashaolu, recommends that the state government should review the laws establishing the university and ensure adequate funding without disengaging any of the current academic and non-academic staff. In his welcome address, the acting provost, Dr. Mutalib Akamu, described Senator Adeleke as the first governor to have visited the university for facility inspection without necessarily coming on any invitation. The acting provost said the committee set up by the governor has holistically looked at all the grey areas that previous committee failed to consider. Members of staff and students who could not hide their joy gave the governor a rousing ovation to register their happiness as regards their job security. It has been Abdurrahim Adikileku reporting.
No fewer than 500 victims of rainstorm and flood benefited from relief materials courtesy Osun State Government. Speaking at the distribution exercise, Chief of Staff to the Governor, Alhaji Kazim Akinleye, implored individuals to be conscious of their environment and desist from dumping refuse on waterways. Saeed Adiboje has details.
Addressing the victims of flood and rainstorm in Ejibo, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Alhaji Kasim Akinleye, appreciated the kind gesture of Governor Adebola Adeleke, which led to the procurement of the relief materials through the Osun Emergency Management Agency, OSEMA, and the National Emergency Agency, NEMA. Sympathizing with those affected by flood or rainstorms, the Chief of Staff, who spoke through the General Manager, OSEMA, Mr. Amos Adejile, assured that the present administration felt their pains and will not relent at assisting them. Mr. Adejile called on individuals to take cleanliness as next to godliness to prevent future occurrence of flood and other related disasters.
We want to thank God Almighty. We want to thank our governor, our amiable governor, for the proactive action taken towards these relief materials given to the victims in the Ejibo. Actually, when the disaster occurred, we informed the governor and we had to write to NEMA to both of them now to sit down, and then they thought it wise to give to the victims some materials, and that is what we are seeing.
A community leader in Ejibo, Dr. Esther Fagbiresa, while speaking, appreciated Governor Adebola Adeleke for the kind gesture, maintaining that the material distributed will cushion the effect of hardship on the victims.
Really, we are very thankful. We were surprised with this package because at the present time, the decision of the country, everything, we are living national. The indication of the PDP government, we are very grateful. And the government is highly appreciated.
Two of the beneficiaries, Mr. Samuel Adebisi and Mrs. Rebecca Adebayo, described Governor Adebola Adeleke as a leader with distinction who will remain indelible in their heart. Among materials distributed are food items, vegetable oils, sanitary pad, and other needs. For Osbc News, this is Saeed Adevoje reporting.
Some state governments are planning to initiate contempt proceedings against the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami and the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, over their refusal to implement the Supreme Court judgment on the Naira redesign policy of the federal government. Governors Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna, Yahaya Bello of Kogi, Bello Matawale of Zamfara, and Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State, among others, had condemned the silence of the President and Mr. Emefiele on the judgment. It was gathered that the federal government was served with the enrolled order and certified true copy of last week's Supreme Court judgment, which also ordered that the old 1,000 naira, 500 naira, and 200 naira notes should be in circulation alongside the new notes till December 31st, 2023. Reports noted that the non-service of the enrolled order and the CTC of the judgment was responsible for the failure of the federal government to direct Mr. Emefiele to roll out the old notes already withdrawn from circulation. In the same vein, Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji has appealed to residents to continue to accept the old and new notes in line with the ruling of the Supreme Court, which extended the validity of the old Naira notes till December 31st, 2023. The Supreme Court, in its ruling, extended the validity date for the old Naira notes in a case instituted by some states against the federal government, with Ekiti State one of them. Governor Oyebanji, who noted complaints by residents that many business concerns in the state refused to accept the old Naira notes as means of transaction, said it becomes unlawful for any business owner or service provider to reject them. The governor, in a statement by Special Advisor on Media, Yinka Oyebode, urged Ekiti people to accept the old notes till the December deadline and steer clear of actions that could create hardship for one another. He also appealed to market women, artisans, transporters, fueling stations, operators of supermarkets, schools, and services to remain law-abiding and accept the old Naira notes. Meanwhile, Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State has threatened to arrest and prosecute those rejecting the ordinary notes. This is contained in a statement issued by the State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Mr. Kingsley Fawu, in Lokoja, the state capital. The governor described as unacceptable and demeaning the continuous rejection of the ordinary notes in spite of Supreme Court's ruling. He emphasized that his administration would not stand and watch some persons and businesses continue to reject the use of the ordinary notes even after the court judgment validating their use. According to him, rejecting the ordinary note is a clear disobedience of the Supreme Court's ruling, which shall be vehemently resisted. He implored residents of the state to accept the ordinary notes following their issuance by the commercial banks for day-to-day business transactions. Moving now to Oluwatobiloba Odunuga from the world of entertainment as he looks into the life and times of late veteran actor Ojo Arowoshafe, popularly known as Fadeyi Oloro. Enjoy it.
Welcome to Entertainment News segment where we'll be discussing top happenings and recent events across the entertainment world. I am Oluwatobiloba Odunuga.
Veteran actor Ojo Arowoshafe, popular known as Fadeyi Oloro, was an enigma in the Yoruba-speaking sector of Nollywood. His acting prowess, without a doubt, was one that sent chills down to the spines of the old and the young alike, owing to his war generalissimo character and unique costumes. At the peak of his career, he was the go-to-go character for indigenous or relic Yoruba plays that required a wicked or hard-hitting war general or balogun. In other films, he frequently appeared as a dangerous and calm herbalist. The common denominator for his character was his passive wickedness. Fadeyi Oloro rarely showed mercy to anyone who offended him. Very few came close to mimicking his dexterity at interpreting such roles that were so believable that the name Fadeyi Oloro, meaning one bound by Ifa that inflicts serious pain, stuck with him on and off screens throughout his lifetime.
Baba, kò sí nǹkan kan ní nǹkan tẹ́ ń gbọ́ yìí. Ọmọdé ń ṣe ọ́ lójú inú. Odindi ẹni ní gbẹ́ndé òun yìí. Odindi ẹni. Bí mo ti ń kú tọ̀ wọ́n lára ọmọ ní lórí ọmọ fọ́ torí ẹ̀fọ́rí ní pàjá inú ní pẹ̀tù. Ọgbọ́n orí wọn máa san wà ní tó bá wà ní kọ́ ọ̀rọ̀.
Ojo Arowoshafe began his career in the Nigerian film industry in 1985 at about age of 28. His first appearance was in Arelu, a popular television series. At the time, the local TV channels used to air Arelu, which was such a big deal for locals that it left the street quiet when a new episode was airing. In this series, Ojo Arowoshafe, popular known as Fadeyi Oloro, played the lead role that sprung him into stardom. He has appeared in over 100 other films, including Alagbara Ilu, Jagunna, Inu Bibi, Ija Abija, Adanilori, Ruke Rudo, and Noponyori was another career-defining movie for Fadeyi Oloro with massive reception from Yoruba film lovers. Fadeyi Oloro was one whose character seems larger than life, and it was with great shock that his death, a few days ago, was received by those who knew him after he battled with protracted illness. In 2019, Fadeyi Oloro made public the decline in his health. At various times, he cried out to Nigerians seeking financial assistance. The veteran actor was at the time reportedly diagnosed with a kidney-related ailment, but during interviews he revealed that he had conducted a series of tests to ascertain the nature of his ailment, to no avail. Amidst all, Arowoshafe revealed that he had written a movie titled Fadeyi Oloro Ogbodoku, Fadeyi Must Not Die, which he would love to produce, but he couldn't do that until after adequate treatment.
Ọlọ́run á dá mi padà sí àyè mi. Á dá ògo mi padà fún mi. Á dá ìkólọ mi padà fún mi lórúkọ Jésù. Á jọ wo fíìmù tí mo fẹ́ ṣe.
It will be recalled that in December 2021, the Coalition for a Better Nigeria called on the citizens to support the actor in salvaging his ailing health. In 2022, the actor also opened up about losing some of the donated funds to fraudulent associates caring for him. Amidst all challenges, Fadeyi Oloro died on the 7th of March at the age of 66. His death came barely 3 weeks after a pastor pledged to give the ailing actor a sum of 3 million naira after a video where he was seen struggling to speak. Ojo Arowoshafe was born to the family of Mr. and Mrs. John Arowoshafe on the 15th of September 1957 in Ekiti State. He attended St. Paul Catholic School. He is survived by wife and children.
This is the Convenience Spot to draw the curtain of entertainment news segment for today. Join us next time for another sweet edition of the entertainment news. I remain your own Oluwatobiloba Odunuga saying bye for now.
The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in Akwa Ibom State says it has seized 150 smuggled drums of petrol. NSCDC Commandant in Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Yusuf Imam, disclosed this while briefing newsmen in Uyo. Imam said the Marine unit of the command acted on intelligence and arrested the suspect on the high seas as they conveyed the product in a wooden boat en route Cameroon. The commandant warned that the Corps would not tolerate crime on its waterways and would meet all acts of economic sabotage and vandalism in the state with the full weight of the law, adding that the suspects will be charged to court as soon as investigation is completed. You are welcome to our sports segment. Praises on the Flying Eagles of Nigeria after winning a bronze medal in the CAF 20 tournament. These and other sports stories are presented from our studios by Tajuddin Amodu.
Dari has commended the Flying Eagles for their third-place finish at the CAF Under-20 Cup of Nations in Egypt. Nigeria defeated Tunisia 4-0 to clinch the bronze medal, setting a record of finishing on the podium in the competition a record 13 times. Describing the bronze medal as better than nothing, the minister charged the team to put to good use the lesson learned at the tournament as they prepare for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia in May. Nigeria, Tunisia, Gambia and Senegal will represent the African continent at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia in May after reaching the semi-final of the CAF Under-20 African Cup of Nations in Egypt. Meanwhile, Coach Ladan Bosso has revealed that he wants 5 top scorers in the Nigeria Premier Football League to join his team ahead of the Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia. In the meantime, Kelechi Iheanacho is in the running for Leicester City's Goal of the Month award for February. Iheanacho was nominated twice for his superb goals against Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur. The Nigerian international scored runs and provided 2 assists in Leicester City's 4-2 win at Aston Villa. The forward scored from a superb diving header in the game. Iheanacho netted a sublime goal a week later in the Foxes 4-1 thumping of Tottenham Hotspur at the King Power Stadium. The 26-year-old Nigeria has scored 3 goals in 19 league appearances for Beredaruja's side this season. And lastly, the gloves won by Argentina goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez in the penalty shootout with France at the 2022 Qatar's World Cup final last year have been auctioned for $45,000 in aid of Children's Cancer Hospital. The Argentina Pediatric Foundation said on Instagram that the money was used in the treatment of boys at the oncology ward of the Garahan Hospital, the main pediatric hospital in Argentina. The auction was set online and featured Martinez via video link from his home in England, where he plays for Aston Villa. The gloves were worn by Martinez as he faced the penalty shootout against France in the final in Qatar, where Argentina won 4-2 after the match ended 3-3 draw in the extra time. Martinez had autographed the inside of the gloves when announcing the donation in February. Tajuddin Amodu, Osbc News.
While on the foreign scene, 34 people are still missing with 3 lifeless bodies found as search and rescue operation continues at the scene of the passenger vessel disaster off the coast of Gabon. Kayode Adebayo has the rest of this story and more from our foreign desk.
The number of people believed missing in the ferry disaster off the coast of Gabon has climbed to 34, following a reassessment with the death toll also rising from 2 to 3. According to the authorities, at least 1 child and 2 adults have been found dead since the Esther Miracle, a mixed-use freight and passenger vessel that traveled between the capital Libreville and the oil town of Port Gentil not far from the coast. The report says the number of passengers and crew aboard the ship was initially believed to be 151, but that figure was revised upwards. Libreville Deputy Public Prosecutor Loic Magongo said that 124 people have been rescued. 3 lifeless bodies have been found, while 34 people are still missing as the search continues. Meanwhile, a man who shot dead 7 people in Germany was visited by police last month after a tip-off raised concern about his mental health. Reports say the 35-year-old suspect, named only as Philip, cooperated with officers and there were not enough grounds to take away his gun at the time because he had a license to own the weapon for sporting purposes. However, the Interior Minister said the country is preparing a new law involving tighter curbs on gun ownership. 7 people, including an unborn baby, were killed in the attack, which unfolded at Jehovah's Witness meeting hall in the city, with another 8 injured. In the meantime, Japanese offered tearful prayers today on the anniversary of the deadly tsunami that triggered the Fukushima disaster, but public support for nuclear power is growing as memories of the 2011 meltdown fade. A minute's silence was observed nationwide, the precise moment when a 9.0 magnitude quake, the 4th strongest in Earth's recorded history, devastated northeastern Japan 12 years ago. Reports stated that the undersea quake unleashed a tsunami that left around 18,500 people dead or missing, an overwhelmed cooling system at the Fukushima Daiichi plant, leading to the worst nuclear catastrophe since Chernobyl. It also said all of Japan's nuclear reactors were taken offline after the disaster and the majority remain out of action today. Kayode Adebayo, Osbc News.
And that ends the major report on Osbc TV. It was edited by Kayode Adebayo. I am Olubomi Ajiboye Agbola. Thanking you for being there as always. Good night.